All right, welcome to X-Plane in VR. Um, this X-Plane 11, I haven't really followed X-Plane a lot. Apparently they've been doing this for a while since it's X-Plane 11. Um, my opinion, the way they do the VR for this is kind of perfect. They kind of set a nice model already for how VR can be, utilized for flight sim. It's really amazing. There's the inside of the plane there. I love this plane. This is a third party plane. I got it from, it's called VR. V Skylabs is the name of it. It's like $20. It's really good. This is somewhere in California. It's near Kings Canyon, Sequoia National Park. I'm not sure exactly where I'm at because I've just been flying around. It's pretty beautiful. It's easy to just kind of get lost in this. The VR really makes it a whole nother experience. Flight sims are great, but this is a whole nother thing, and they do it really well. I only usually use typically one of these because I have a real joystick that I use and some rudder pedals. I feel like one hand is good enough to do all the controls and everything. So here's my setup. I got the modified chair here. It's pretty cool how that works. It's just an angle bracket that clamps to that bar that sticks up. And it's really solid. It doesn't move too much at all, especially when you're using the joystick and not doing that. It's cool. I put 4 positions. I thought I want the last position, but that one in the middle there, or the second one's actually the one I like the most, I think. Cheap little setup. The steering wheel I've had for like 20 years. It's the Logitech Momo racing wheel. All I had to do was reverse the axis to get it to work perfect for the yaw axis, they call it, for the rudder. And then I think that's probably wrong. But whatever one does the rudder is what you put those pedals on. And then this joystick is funny because I had a game port version of this probably like more than 20 years ago. It's the same damn design, but it's really good, and it's USB now, so that's a lot better. Of course, I can't really get into the chair with it set up, so I'll have to take the clamp off and take the joystick off and then sit down and get my VR all set up. Yeah, sometimes when you set up your position when you're standing in your room space and then you sit in your chair where you want it, you're not exactly where you actually want it. I wonder if you can see that. There you go. You can get your rudder pedals also operate the the wheels. You need the pedals the most, or the rudder the most rather, for the wheel operation for taking off and landing. You need the rudder for landing a lot too, in my experience. I don't know how to fly planes, but this is a lot of fun. Let me get in the seat, and it's funny because they have a nice function built in where this menu is awesome. You can use this to get into the pilot seat. And this particular plane, you can see it like jump to the right seat, and then it jumped me over to this seat. I'm gonna get rid of this thing too because it blocks the view. I think you can use it for navigation and stuff, but that little center console GPS is pretty good for finding airports. It's really cool to be able to learn about. I have no idea how to use one of these. I still barely know how to use one, but I know enough to do a thing or two, which is neat. All right, that looks about good for where I'm sitting. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's definitely good, except the plane's a little. There we go. That's lined up right. Good to just make sure you orient yourself with your real controls. Make sure everything's lined up in virtual world like it is in the real world. That's why flight sims and like racing sims are like the best, I feel like, so far. I forgot I gotta close this freaking. How do I close this? I can't reach over there because my stereo's in my way. What I can do is shit. I didn't want to do that. Can I cancel that? No. Damn, I gotta get that right again. I think I can do this. Yeah. There we go. You gotta use the force sometimes. And then that opens up the fuel valve. This turns on the battery. That's the alternator. There's a bunch of fuses here. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn them all on now. And it's cool, like that alternator light there. It'll turn off once the engine turns on. So now it's happy. I wonder what happens if you don't turn the alternator on. It just the battery runs out and all your shit just turns off, I guess. I don't know. Probably. You got your autopilot here. I know how to, if I just turn it on and hit this ALT button, it'll auto trim and auto level, which is really nice. So that's pretty much all I use for autopilot. Why am I moving? Wait. What's going on here? Brake on. What is going? My parking brake needs to be on. It's a powerful motor, even in the low and the minimum. I noticed that, like, it flies pretty decent in the minimum. Like, you definitely turn it all the way down when you're trying to land. So I'm gonna undo that. And then I guess it needs some time to pick up momentum before it starts rolling. That's really neat how simulatory it is. That up a little bit. That up too much, and I'm going the wrong way. Alright, this is horrible. Don't regret this is not good for the video. Man, what the hell am I doing? There you go. Alright. Nice takeoff. I guess the terrain data isn't that detailed, or else it would have been a lot bumpier. So I get decent frames per second. I mean, if the little thing comes up is showing on the screen as it records, it might say that it's dropping it at 20 frames per second. I doubt this ever hits 20 frames per second in the actual headset. It just kind of reads like that. But I'm definitely not getting even a solid 45 at the moment. And the recording doesn't help with that. I got the flaps on. That's cool. It has this -6 flaps where it doesn't like me. I think right now my trim is way too high. But you can adjust with the virtual wheel. I actually have it on the real wheel on my joystick because it's extremely touchy with the Vive. It's extremely touchy with the physical wheel, so it's even worse, and it's harder to tell what you're doing. So I apologize if the video is a little bit choppy. It's just kind of this is still early. You know, it's very single core intensive, this program at the moment. They're planning on working on fixing that. I know, like, as a game developer, it can be the computer, the way that they're designed, they just want to do everything in one core. It's hard to, like, split things up and have it benefit things when they're all working to do, like, one task, like draw this scene. So, like, everything that has to do with drawing this scene has to go through one thread. So you could have an 8-core processor and you'll be using 16% of it or less, because it's all trying to do it on the one thread, which kind of sucks, but it's kind of standard. Theoretically, this could be so much better. The frames per second has a huge impact in your VR experience. I wouldn't recommend less than 45 frames per second if you never did it before. Probably ideally you'd have like 90. So think at 90 frames per second it's kind of hard to tell. I know I've done some like racing sims at 90 frames per second, and you're looking down at the, like right at the gravel. It's pretty convincing. Shit is moving by your face really fast. I've been using the joystick the whole time. I should just level out the trim wheel. I should use the autopilot to show that off a little bit. Where'd it go? I gotta have that thing on for that. Basically, it's gonna keep one to auto level me, so maybe it wasn't the best idea to autopilot right here. So there's ways to tell it to go higher. Looks like it's trying to do like an auto nav thing too right now. I have no idea what I'm doing with this shit. Let's see here. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, that's beautiful. I almost missed that. What is that? That's pretty cool. Alright, because I'm fucking with all this stupid crap. That's why. Yeah. I don't need the avionics. Just having a joyride. I don't know how half of it works. And that's being generous. I've always liked flight simulators. This is just not the same as doing it on a screen. This is so much better. Like it's so much better. It's like flying an airplane. It's a simulator. It's like flying a simulator. This is closer to flying an airplane. I feel like this is the closest thing I will ever have to owning like a little single engine airplane like this. I need to make my own custom artwork for it. Make my own. Oh shit. You can stick your head out the window in VR. It's kind of fun. Dude, this plane is very maneuverable. Got no problem. Like, oh, you want to do that? You want to do this? I feel like it's best to do a little dip before you try to do a, At this point, I feel like it usually gains more altitude in this maneuver than it loses. I'm going to say that as I smash into the ground here. I guess you can hit an air pocket or something. I noticed sometimes the flight sim is so realistic. I'm not used to, like, especially in this mountain kind of areas. You'll hit areas where I don't know exactly the physics, but things will happen. You have to counteract. So I don't know, if you try to do something like that and you hit like a pocket of low air pressure or something, you might want to smash right into the ground. That's what it seems like. It seems like it has trouble grabbing the air sometimes. The air just doesn't I feel like. It's like a stall warning. I think. I don't know what makes the engine stall. It's a little sparse, but if you look at the satellite imagery, it looks like it's pretty sparse. Mostly grass. It's a good thing these trees aren't real because I can't see what's directly in front of me. There'll be some ballsy. I guess I can like sit up. Ballsy flying here. Where's the big trees? They're not gonna. I'm not gonna collide with them. They're not real. Even in the VR, they're not real. Collision-wise, it would slowly destroy this computer right now if it was doing collisions for all these trees. Ain't no way. It's already dying as it is. So I love how the Google Maps AI thing will make those 3D models out of stuff. It'll be so cool one day when they'll have AI robots like 3D modeling out all the trees in this area. Like, you don't have to do everyone identical, you know. They don't all have to be different, but like you have like the redwoods. There would be redwoods around here somewhere if it was the actual. I don't know, I kind of want to put redwoods in this place. If I could get some accurate data on where they're located. I think that would be a worthwhile experiment. I mean, for my own personal. Alright. Let's see here. I got the full, I want the -6 flaps. -6 flaps is like a speed boost. Not a lot of planes have it, I think. But it doesn't like to climb at -6 flaps. So, should be a lot happier now. That's so cool, like the inside-out tracking with the Vive lighthouses. If you look back here, I'm gonna put the flaps to 30, 40 or whatever. They're full flaps now. Now I'm gonna put them up to -6. And I'm back down to 0. And I knew it was definitely a 0 because I could haptic feedback. You get a little click when you would get the click in real life, I guess, like when you get to the other setting. A little vibration click. Probably the most useful force feedback vibration click I've ever got is the feedback you get from these knobs. Can't imagine doing VR flight simulators much better than what X-Plane has done with this. Surely not a whole lot. I mean, if I was in a more safe spot, I'm not even going to touch it, but it's actually, they need to have a way to cancel you can cancel your teleport if you just put it inside your, if I go to, I should have done that, I'm going to click down facing straight. You can teleport to the ground. If I had autopilot on and I wasn't right above some trees, I would do it. I'll do it in a minute. That's good. So, it's pretty. Yeah, it's a nice plane. I like it. It's got the first aid kit here. And remove before flight. Oops. At least I got it off there now. I don't know what the fuck that's on there for. This thing though, I don't want to touch that. It's a ballistic chute, emergency ballistic chute. It is going to launch a parachute out of the back of the plane if you pull that, which is it's just a lot of fun. It's another feature about this plane that makes it pretty great. There's this little PDA thing. I'm not going to pick it up and do show map because it actually, I feel like, drops the frames per second once or a little bit maybe. It works kind of good. I'm not really sure how to use it, honestly. I got the reflections details on like low, so all I get is like this generic. Oh no, shit. That's the full deal in there. Wow, you know, I have the reflections detail on low and it's still giving me that. That is not low reflection detail. I could save a couple frames per second if I didn't have this. I don't need to have that in there right now. They didn't develop that for VR. I'm gonna have to look into disabling that. That is being real-time rendered, I'm pretty sure. So that's a whole another 2 points of view. Let me see, left eye and right eye get different ones. Yeah. That's two another points of view it has to render per frame. It's rendering 4 points of view per frame, whereas a typical renderer would just do 1 or 2 if it had reflection. But it's using that Vulkan renderer, not the OpenGL. Oh, look at the satellite difference. I love that. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it's kind of cool. You get 2 satellite photos from 2 different days or seasons. I love the Vulkan rendering engine. That is like the new way of doing things, because OpenGL is too old way of doing things. You know, they had to change the whole thing, I think, to get it to work properly with VR. So it's kind of like starting fresh, which is a good thing. This stuff's too modern not to. The graphic hardware, I mean, the VR alone. I love the sunlight effects, the HDR rendering is beautiful in this game. But yeah, check that out. That's not like lighting difference. That's a satellite photo that's like one season to the other. We got a lot of that right here. In the corner. It's pretty neat. Wow, look, you can see all the way down there. The whole line. The whole satellite difference zone. And right here we have like a conglomeration of 3. Pretty cool. The trees are from satellite data as well. Somebody somehow, I think the same OSM data that they get for the rivers and everything, it's amazing. I have to learn more about. There's a program called OrthoXP that allows you to acquire this satellite image data, also acquire terrain data and data about rivers and crap, and put it all into these packages to give you this photoreal scenery. And then there's another package that adds trees that are very realistic to the tree line, which right there looks a little weird. It's not perfect, obviously, but works pretty good. There's a lights one that does almost the same thing for nighttime lights, which is beautiful in this game. I feel like the stars render a little weird. I don't know. Stars look weird to me in this game, but it's still pretty. That was weird. I got that flicker there. Sometimes you get weird graphic errors from the cloud shadows, but on the high graphics it doesn't usually affect it much. It's like a 2D in VR kind of thing where 2D stuff tends to jump around when you change your angle. That is so awesome. I love that. That lighting. I wouldn't want to turn that off if I could. I definitely got to turn off these fancy reflections. That's just ridiculous. probably save me. Oh crap! I hit the pause button. That will probably save me like 5 frames per second at least. I bet. Just getting rid of that reflection. And it's normally kind of annoying and distracting. I don't even like it. I usually can't see the scenery out of it or anything. I thought it was generic for a long time. Yeah, that stuff, it's reflection stuff, and especially in VR, is costly. I think this video is probably getting long enough. Oh, fuck. Did that by accident. That looks good. Yeah, it looks good. I'm gonna find an airport. And we're gonna do that by turning the outer knob to nearest airport. Hit the cursor button. That one. Now what did I? Oh yeah, it's the direct button. Send me there, and then hit enter here. Deactivate. Enter. Boom. Booyah. And that's the nearest airport. Is estimated time of arrival 12 minutes. Looks like it's estimating that a little quicker now. I'm gonna put that as a -6 here. Then I'll have to climb much. Ooh, we got another satellite difference zone. This is like a lot of satellite. I mean, unless that's like a bad shadowing, I'm pretty sure that's oh, maybe it is like a cloud shadow that's like really jagged. I don't know what the hell's going on with that shadow there. It could just be a shadow of the mountain. The mountain casting a shadow. What that is. Yeah, well the shadow's off, but it still does the cloud shadows and it still does terrain shadows. Beautiful. Alright, hopefully I can land this plane better than I took off. That was pathetic. So pretty. Alright. Same airport I took off from? Probably not. 7-minute ETA, 8-minute ETA. I think I kind of want to autopilot now. Smoke a cigarette. I'll be back. Oh, let me turn this on first. So you can see it's wonder. There you go. I don't gotta touch anything. Good to go. Alright, I'll be back. Now I went off course a little bit. Not bad. I got this seated right. It's very important to get your VR headset seated right, and the IPD. The IPD, I'm not sure if I know mine right. I think it's 62.3, but I thought it was 68 point something a week ago, so it'd be nice to get it checked out. I feel like a good way. I used to think these lenses on this Vive were horrible, because I thought the IPD was right when it was wrong. I've got the right IPD, and then yeah, I had to get close to read stuff, but everything's pretty readable when I get close, whereas before it was like horrendous. I mean, you know, ideally you could read that from here, but you need a higher resolution. trim pointing way down, and I'm not even touching the throttle, the joystick, and going pretty straight. Like it must be like updraft or something. Alright, so this airport, ETA 3 minutes. I don't think that purple line's actually showing the approach, because the last time I approached an airport like that, it was all down here somewhere. Oh look, here all this great stuff. Where's my controller? Zero. And turn this off. Put my gauges back on here. It's kind of neat. It's just like a smartphone. And all this other stuff just gets added. The smartphone screen's a nice touch. Why would it go away? There we go. Everything seems to have gotten darker on me. Why is that? What is happening? Am I blacking out here? I am blacking out. What do I have to do if I'm blacking out? I forget. Oh Lord. I blacked out. Okay. Hold on. Turn this down. Let's, why is my fucking plane refusing to go down? Oh fuck. Probably had something to do with my elevator trim being like way too some way. I don't know, that was kinda, that wasn't as scary as flying through a plane with a virtual joystick, or flying through a cloud with a virtual joystick. I mean, that was scary, because I was like, I couldn't tell with a virtual joystick, your sight is all the input you have. Airport is, I think, right down there. I think this is the one I took off from. Just has the same crappy unfinished look. But I can't blame them. This is some random, out in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of wherever this whole crap is. This could be Yosemite. I don't think I went that far north, but I really don't know. Flying through the cloud with the virtual joystick, I was just staring at the artificial horizon the whole time. I don't like looking at that typically because, I don't know, I'm a VFR flight guy. Put my face out the front windshield. I think my positioning on the chair might be a little, no, I'm just sitting way up, that's what it is. Alright, so there's that. Why am I, oh, yeah, because I'm like, fucking, oh, first of all, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Turned off the fuel line. Yeah, I want to just get my engine to conk out while I'm flying towards the ground at an unreasonable rate of speed. So yeah, you put the flaps up, it really slows you down a lot. I'm gonna put them at 30. I don't want to slow down that much. This is actually, yeah, I have to say, at minimum, this thing still flies. So, it's probably good to put it at minimum. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos by people that fly these planes in real life. And they say that it's very accurate. So, it's cool to be able to fly a virtual version of a real plane. This could be the same airport we took off from. I don't even know what airport we took off from. I am not lined up for this. Alright. There's a landing speed plug-in that tells you what your landing speed is like. I need to flare up here. Oh my god. I like touched before I flared up. Alright, that was horrible. Alright, no brakes. Alright. Turn it on some more. There we go. Yeah, this might be the same airport. I don't know. I can't typically read what the little things say. So I'm not typically flying like this. But, you know, that's just, that'll get better. The resolution and the image specifically, or the lenses, I think, will have a lot to do with it. I believe that could be readable from there. That's pretty readable from there, actually, if I have the thing on my head the right way. The lenses are very touchy. If you don't have them like right on your face the right way, they won't look right. So you kind of gotta mess around with that. But yeah, that's flying in VR. It's pretty great. I get out and walk around, but I'm kind of stuck in this chair. I'm just sitting on the ground now. Yeah, I think this is the same airport. No, it's hard to say. There's not a lot to this airport. Something down that way. There's like an engine choke, but I never use it. I don't give a fuck about my brakes, I'll just start it up. Oh wait, my rudder pedals. I am not facing them. Alright, so thanks for watching. If you stayed this long, oh my god. Thanks a lot. Peace. Oh, I never got to try out the parachute. Yeah, let's do the parachute real quick. I don't know where the hell my rudder pedals are, so this takeoff is going to be going around in circles for a minute here, bumping around. It's going to be a lot of fun. It always registers as a crash, but I've never seen it crash where the plane catches fire, which will happen if you do a bad crash. I'm just gonna do it from right here. I'm gonna shut the engine off. Pull the parachute. There we go. We got our parachute out. Smash. Oh, we flipped over. And catch fire? No fire. So we could have survived that. It did its job.